Thank you for joining us today. I'm Carol Nichols with the Illinois Small Business Development Center at Baccalaureate Community College. And we're excited to have Jessica Nimitz and Lori Young. Lori Young, who are with Two Roads Wellness Center in Danville and Champaign. And they're going to help give us some insights on coping with crisis, which I think as small businesses in the world today, you all understand a lot about at this point. So hopefully you can give us some tips. But thank you very much.
Of course. Hi. So I'm Jessica Nimitz. I've been a counselor for about 15 years now. And I've been a co-owner at Two Roads since it started in 2015. Where would you like to say anything about yourself?
I'm Lori Young, and I'm the other owner of Two Roads. And I've been a counselor for, I don't know, a long time, around 20 years.
Okay. So we wanted to start off, we just wanted to start off just telling you a little bit about Two Roads. So I wanted to share with you our vision. The name Two Roads actually comes from a Robert Frost poem, The Road Not Taken. And it's just about the fact that we all have different choices in life that we can make. So at Two Roads, we just try to help people make the choice that's best for their life. So our vision is helping you find the path that makes a difference in your life. Also, I wanted to share with you our mission, which is to support and empower our people to reach their best selves, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So what's really important to us is that we come alongside people. So we're not the experts, but we want to be on that road with you towards your best health. A little bit about our history is that we opened in 2015. So we've only been around, it'll be 5 years this October. Okay. And we started off with 4 therapists here at Danville that had just a shared vision of creating a better place for people's mental health. And since then, we've actually grown to 3 locations, and we have 20 therapists and 7 medical professionals that work with us now, and 38 employees, I believe.
Wow.
So we've had some pretty rapid growth. Our approach is a little bit different. We call it an integrative care approach, and the reason we call it integrative care is that we're focusing on people's mind, body, and spirit. So we're actually using something called conventional medicine, but also functional medicine that we bring together just to kind of create like the best atmosphere for our people so they can feel their very best. All right, so that's a little bit about who we are.
So now to what we offer. And so I'll just kind of read through some of the services that we offer. Of course, mental health services, medication management, gene site testing, epigenetic biometric analysis, which is our newest service that we are very excited about, antiviral support and immune system analysis, and that's another one of our newest services, nutritional counseling, supplemental support, primary care, community outreach. We have bilingual, we have a Mandarin speaking counselor, and we have 3 emotional support animals, a cat and 2 dogs. And we do have 3 locations, 20 therapists, 7 medical professionals, and 38 total of us now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Lori, did you want to talk a little bit about our emotional support animals and kind of what we've seen that they're able to offer the community?
Yeah, so we weren't sure how it was going to go when we first decided to do this, but we felt strongly and had done some research about how emotional support animals really help people in like a therapeutic environment, how it helps them to be able to relax, feel more calm, and be able to, process through some of their feelings a little bit easier. And even what we've seen is just that intake. When people come into the office, it's kind of scary to go to therapy the first time, so they're kind of, anxious or, not quite sure about like this, how this place is or whatever. And then I've just seen people, kind of relax, and they see the cat walk through or the dog walk through, and you can just see in their body language that they are more relaxed and, kind of start to smile a little bit and feel more comfortable. And then in therapy, we've really seen our animals be very in tune to how our clients are feeling and when they need more support. You know, the animal, either the cat or the dog may get up and sit with the client, and you can just see that it really means a lot to the client, and they feel supported even by the emotional support animals.
Which is really nice. So an example of that is Happy is our pug. He's a little golden pug. He's real tiny and cute. And so he scratched on one of the therapist doors the other day. I don't know what he was sensing, but she let him in. He came in there and someone was very upset. And he just sat with her and she instantly started feeling calm. She started petting him, gave her a kiss on the face, and she felt a lot better. And then she seemed calm, so he left the room. And so that's what our animals offer.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more in detail about our mental health support. So what we offer is we have therapy services for adults, teens, children ages 4 and up, couples and families. So we support people that have ADHD, anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder. We help people with trauma, grief and loss, divorce support, parenting support, sex therapy, and first responder support, and more. So we cover a lot of different things. We actually have a program called Building the Bridge, and it's to provide support for our first responders to get better mental health. And we also offer school-based counseling. So some of our counselors will actually go into the schools and offer counseling so that parents don't have to take time off work to bring their kids.
That's good.
Which is a nice service to have. I don't know if it's going to be needed this semester, but yeah, we do have it. Yeah, we have it.
And the kiddos don't have to miss school, which is really important.
And then, so we do a lot of different types of treatments there. We offer cognitive behavioral therapy. We do dialectical behavioral therapy. We do something called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And it's actually for people that have a lot of trauma, fears, and even anxiety and phobias. It could help with that. So it just helps them be able to move past that and function in their daily life a lot better and actually, find joy and happiness again. We do a lot of play-based therapy with kiddos. So we do play therapy. We sit down on the floor with them. We use doll houses, sand trays, Play-Doh, whatever we need just to help them feel safe and get their feelings out. And we also offer expressive arts therapy. So that's just a way for people that need to process in a different way.
A little more about the expressive arts. Are you talking about like painting?
Yeah, painting, drawing. Okay. We'll use all different types of medium, whatever people choose to use. We can use that for them.
Yeah, because I paint.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I instruct art classes, and I do paint parties.
Okay, that's good. So that's your language. So
yes.
Your therapist, if you ever chose to go, would use that to help you process your feelings and thoughts. So we just try to meet people wherever they're at and use your strengths. We also offer medication management and supplement support for people for their mental health. So we have, like we said, up to 7 medical providers at all our different locations. And so they'll just meet with you. They'll first just kind of get to know you, get to know what your needs are. And then we're not about treating the symptoms. So they're going to be asking a lot of questions, really trying to get to the root of what's going on. And they're going to recommend what things with the least amount of side effects. So what they're going to do first is offer you, supplements that you might be able to take, and then if needed, medication. They also offer what's called GeneSight testing, which means they're going to, just a little mouth swab that they do, and they send off your DNA to GeneSight. And then based on that, they receive a report back that tells them what kind of medications work best with your body. So they're not just guessing on your medications. They're actually able to say, okay, these medications will work for this person based on their DNA. They're going to have the least amount of side effects. And the last thing we offer for mental health is nutritional counseling. So there are certain foods that can decrease anxiety and increase mood support, and so they will recommend things based on that for you.
To tell you a little bit about what we mean by primary care support. Primary care support, we offer that for all ages, but in all the offices in Champaign and Danville. And we have something a little bit different. We have like a membership option. So if you don't have insurance, then you can get a membership. And basically it's at a very reasonable cost. and then you can go as many times as you need to, and you won't have to keep paying a copay. So you just pay that one time, once a month membership fee, and then you don't have to continue to pay each time you come. The great thing that we like about this is that you're not going to be waiting for a month or 2 months or whatever to get in. It's going to be less than a week, I would say, and then you're going to be able to have an appointment. You get to spend a lot more time with your provider too. I know some of the clinics are very busy, and so you may only get to spend 10 minutes or 15 minutes at the most, but our providers take a lot more time. So your first appointment is probably going to be an hour because, again, they're really trying to get to the root of what's going on. And so we're not just saying, oh, this is your symptom and here's a medicine for that. We're really going to try to find out what's the cause. And then usually the follow-ups are about 30 minutes because they really spend that time to follow up and find out how you're doing. So we definitely have a very much of like an integrative approach. So it's really about treating the whole person.
Okay.
So, just some examples of what primary care is, because a lot of people are like, what is primary care? It could be things like school physicals, your annual physicals, wellness checks. It could be, maybe you have fatigue. So you go in and they're going to work with you. They're going to run some labs. They're going to figure out what's going on to cause that fatigue. They can monitor your blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, weight management, and a lot of other things. So if you're interested, you just give our office a call and they can tell you if they can cover that or not.
So do you do things like, that in a normal world, if you have a cold or you have bronchitis or something.
Right, they will treat illness as well.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, right. So the next thing we wanted to talk to you guys about is our nutritional support. So Lori had talked about a new service we offer, which is the epigenetic biometric analysis, which is actually an evaluation of your DNA to determine the best diet for you based on your genetic makeup. So I actually participated in that first to kind of figure out what it was before we brought this new nutritionist on to make sure we liked it. It was very thorough, and you learn a lot. And then I received basically a 70-page cookbook of recipes that were just for me based on my DNA. So I thought that was very helpful, and that could be good for people that want to feel their very best. So we do offer that, and then we also, like I said, offer the nutritional treatment plan. We have a nurse practitioner that is also works with nutrition, and so she works alongside our nutritionist. I don't know what his title is yet. He's a genetic nutritionist. So she works alongside him to come up with a treatment plan and offer follow-up. And then also we offer an antiviral and immune system analysis. So what they're going to do there is kind of look at if there's anything missing in your diet that could be contributing to like a poor immune response. And so they're going to be recommending things to increase your immune system support. So that could be things like vitamin C, zinc, or other things that they know about that I don't even know about. So that's their expertise.
So it could be in food, it could be a supplement.
Right.
You go for the micro to the macro approach.
Yes. Yeah, so you know all about that. That's good. Yep.
So we also have community outreach, and so they provide a level of support as well. We offer free health education for schools and for churches and businesses that would like to, educate their staff. We offer presentations on various topics, and I can just read a few, but this is not like an inclusive list. Integrative wellness, anxiety, depression, stress management, communication, suicide prevention, and then there's just a lot more. Too many to even name, but we also participate in locally supporting different outreach groups to work for just improving services to the communities that we're in as well.
So a few of the groups we currently work with are Puzzled Minds of Vermilion County, which is a parent support group for children with autism and other special needs. We also participate in the Step Up meetings in the community, as well as the mental health board meetings. And then also we partner with Hope Center and Women's Care Clinic. And coming up, we're partnering with Second Church of Christ to offer, they're offering a respite night for teachers. So we just try to be involved in the community as much as we can to support people. Okay, so we wanted to talk a little bit about how to support everyone here today during this difficult time. So we say, step one is just to normalize and accept the struggle, because we're all going through it right now. You hear that playing over and over again, that we're all in this together, right? Which we are. We can't escape it as much as we want to. We're all in it together. So just accepting that things are hard right now. So if you're feeling a little anxious or your mood has dropped a little bit, that's normal. If you're walking around whistling and happy during this time, that might be rare, actually.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. You can do that. That's great. I want to be in your world. But I think to feel, anything else is okay. So just acceptance for whatever it is you're feeling. The second step is to respect other safety needs. One of our therapists calls this pandemic etiquette, and I really liked when she said that, because unfortunately I've seen a lot of shaming going around, which is really unfortunate, because I believe we are in this together, and it's good to respect each other wherever each person is at. So we all have different safety needs. We definitely want to protect the vulnerable people, keep everyone safe, but just being kind to each other, spreading kindness and not shame, and encouraging one another is really important. The third thing is physically distance, but not socially distance. So you hear a lot about let's socially distance, and I hate that. I don't know about you guys. I'm like, we're not going to socially distance anymore, because we need each other. So we are just wired for connection. We're wired to be social. So we all need that. And at least what we've seen with mental health, since we're both therapists, is that we've just seen an increase in people feeling isolated, alone, depressed. And this, the increase in suicidal ideation and suicidal rates has gone up, unfortunately, because people feel so alone. So it's really important not to socially distance from other people, but to physically distance, find that safe distance, but continue to socialize in whatever way feels safe to you. Or do you have any suggestions for things people can do socially still?
Well, of course, with the internet, right, we do have some opportunities there. And we also have opportunities to, kind of go old school. And it's okay to send a card in the mail,
That's another old
right?
Yeah.
Right? But it's okay to reach out and talk to someone on the phone. We can text them, that's great, but to call them and check in. And so there's some ways that maybe kind of been lost throughout the years that we can reconnect with and try that any way that you can and still feel safe enough. People are meeting outside now and trying to keep distance, but figuring out ways that we could do drive-by, meetings or something, and at least connect in some way.
Those are good ideas. I noticed that when I go on a walk, sometimes people don't even look up anymore. So I think even a simple thing like that, I'm wondering to myself, did I do something wrong? But even look up at someone, even if you're wearing a mask, look up at them, make eye contact, because they're going to feel that connection.
Yes, I had that same incident the other day, walking past the courthouse. A lady, she was just walking just like this, head down, and I'm approaching, she's approaching me, but she's not giving any eye contact. If I wasn't paying attention, she would have ran right into me.
Oh, no, that's not
Like
good.
a little bull.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, and we don't know what people are going through, why they may be avoiding eye contact. Maybe they're afraid of being shamed, with all the shaming in our culture right now. But I think just keeping our eyes up, and if someone walks by, you're making that eye contact. And even if you have your mask, they can't see you smiling, but you can see the smile in someone's eyes. So it's worth looking at.
Right. He says everybody's emotions are just like at an all-time high. We just want to channel those emotions in the right spot.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so tuning into yourself, body, mind, and spirit. So I would say I do this too, but we just get so busy sometimes, or we don't want to focus on how we're feeling because it feels too overwhelming. So we just kind of push through and we get busy doing other things. But what happens when you do that is it's cumulative, right? So it starts to build up in your system. and all of a sudden one day you have a breakdown and you don't understand why. And it's because you were working on that, right? It built up to that. So it's really important to be more preventative. And how we can do that is first, what you're going to notice first is how you feel, because that's what we all notice first. You think, why am I so cranky, or why am I feeling so sad? So notice whatever you're feeling first, start with your emotion. I'm starting to feel a little sad here. Then I would say step 2 is to check in with your body. And a lot of people don't think about that, but when we have an emotion, we feel it in our body. So some people get that tightening in their chest, or they'll get the heart palpitations. Some people get headaches, migraines, tension in their shoulders. So kind of pay attention to how your body feels emotion, negative emotion, right? So you kind of pay attention to, okay, I'm feeling sad, I'm getting these chest pains a little bit. I know it's not a heart attack, but I'm just, starting to feel a little tension there. And then start thinking about, well, what was I thinking about? Like, what was going through my mind, right? Because then we can pinpoint it. And maybe for me, it was when I walked down the sidewalk, that lady didn't look up at me, and it made me feel alone, right? So I started thinking, man, am I really alone in this world? So I start thinking about that, right? And that's why my body's reacting the way it is. That's why my emotions are reacting the way they are. So then what do I have control over there, right? I can't change the situation, but I can start thinking about how can I reframe my thinking, right? And that's what I have control over. So then I can try to put it in a different perspective and think what I just said to you, right, about the lady not looking up. Okay, so maybe she's got something else going on with her day, or I don't know. Could be lots of things. It's not about me, right? And just reframing my thinking sometimes is enough to just help me start to relax a little bit, right? Yeah. So that's how we start, just kind of checking in with ourselves. The next thing is I have build your house on a good foundation, which just means we need to pay attention to the things that affect us the most, which are number 1, sleep, nutrition, exercise, supplements, and making sure we're getting time outside. So these are all things that research has shown affect us the most, along with, I would say, connecting with other people. So just making sure, okay, do I have good sleep hygiene? Am I getting enough sleep? For me, I need 9 hours. I know that's a lot, because some people need 6. Everybody's different, so knowing how much sleep you need, making sure you're getting that. Am I eating foods that make my body feel good? Am I getting out and doing my walk every day? Our nurse practitioners always recommend everyone taking like a multivitamin and checking your vitamin D, because that's what affects mood. And most of us in the Midwest have low vitamin D, so just living in the Midwest. And then research also shows when we're outside, it's really good for our system. So making sure you're getting to a park, or if you have a nice yard, get out in your yard and just sit out in the sunshine and get some outside time.
Yep.
So that's your foundation that will help you feel your very best. And the last thing I wanted to share is just creating those daily habits of being present, being grateful, and being connected. So we know that if we are feeling grateful, we can't feel stressed at the same time. So if you start your day just thinking about what's one thing, even if it's one little thing that I'm grateful for today, being able to say that out loud, I'm grateful for this, right? I'm grateful that I got to come here today. Whatever it is, it's going to get your mind thinking in a certain way that's going to help the rest of your day. And then we've already talked about, connection is very important. So making sure you're getting connected with people throughout the day. And then just really being in the moment, which is really hard for me, because I'm always thinking about what's next, what do I need to do? I've got 4 kids. I'm always hustling, trying to get things done. But just being present in the moment, and enjoying being, right here, right now is really important. Okay. I do want to teach you guys one technique to take with me today to use to be more grounded in the moment. It also can decrease stress. We call it a tapping technique. So all you do is you put your hand over your heart like this. You put your other hand over hand. And you acknowledge whatever it is you're feeling. So let's say I'm feeling sad today. I would just tap 3 times and I'd say, I feel sad. And I'm going to do that 3 times. I'm going to switch hands. I feel sad. I feel sad. I'm going to take a moment and take a breath. And I'm going to say, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And that's it. And you just do that until you can feel your body start to relax. So that's something you guys can take with you today.
So we just want to thank you for your support today. Excuse me. And for additional support, you can call our office at 217-651-6801, or you can email us at DMville. It's DMville@tworoadswellnessclinic.com.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're doing some questions.
Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
Are you seeing an increase in, people trying to deal with this? I mean, you talked about, that you see an increase in suicidal tendencies and whatnot, but, I mean, it has been very difficult, for everyone. Because how are people coming to you, or are they coming to you, or have they not recognized they need to come to you yet, or?
I would say we're so busy that we barely have openings at this time, at least in our Danville office. We recently opened our campus Urbana location, so that one does have openings. But I would say we're very busy right now because people are struggling. And I know that not all people seek help when they're struggling, right? There's that feeling of, I should be able to get through this on my own, but the truth is, none of us can. Like, we really have to be in this together and reach out and help each other. So if you're the type of person that doesn't want to go see a counselor, at least reaching out to someone else in your community, a family member, pastor, somebody that you can talk to.
And I know a lot of small businesses are independent people, and they've struggled with, having to reach out for help financially. And I'm sure they would struggle even more with reaching out, thinking about themselves, because it's always the last thing they think about. So I think what you're doing is wonderful. I think help people take advantage.
Yeah, and we just want to say that everything is confidential. So, I mean, you're going to go and talk to your counselor, spill it out there, they're going to help you process, and it just stays in that room. So you can leave it there, and then come back the next week if you need to, or be done with it, whatever you need.
Questions?
I don't have any questions. I had a question in reference to the epigenetics. Are you seeing a lot of genetic changes due through, the human body going through a lot more stress, like you were saying, more tension in the neck, the back, headaches? So is it changing people on a genetic or a cellular level?
That's a good question.
Well, I mean, what we can say is that we notice that a lot of times people will come in with some physical manifestation of the stress, and they don't recognize that it's a physical manifestation. They know they have headaches. They know they have muscle tension. They know they have GI issues, all those things, but they don't connect it to, hey, this is stress. And so we know that much, at least. And so I think that this is going to raise awareness for that.
Right. I think that is very vital on everything that you guys mentioned. A lot of people just want to heighten their awareness on what they're going through physically or mentally. So
That's where it starts, right?
Yeah. Because if you can, like you were saying, change your perspective or heighten your awareness on it to view the perspective of what you're going through, and you're more knowledgeable on the situation, it won't affect you so much.
Right.
So
That's so
I
true.
think that's
Yeah.
very key.
Yeah, what you're just saying, we can't change the circumstances we're in right now, right?
But you can heighten your awareness and adapt to things that will help you, like going out in nature, adding more things to create more balance in your life.
Yes, absolutely. That's good.
I like that word, adapt. That's
Yeah, the business word right now is pivot. Can you pivot? Oh, we're pivoting all over the place. We're pivoting. Yes. I know.
Like you prepare for one thing and then go, no, that's not school today. They're going over here. Like, what?
well, and you're right. It seems like it varies from day to day.
Oh, minute to minute. you know, especially like, you know, when you, right now we're in the thing with the kids going to school. Are they going to school, not going to school? Am I, you know, the parents are going through, am I going to be teaching and not teaching? And, okay, they're not going to school, then I got to find childcare and
Right.
all of, you
Right.
know, you got to make all the arrangements and it's crazy.
It is.
I think, I'm glad I don't have little kids.
Oh, I know.
I think
What is wrong?
our whole perspective on everything in totality is, it's all mental. If everybody is focusing their attention on the negative aspects instead of increasing the positivity that can go along with this, like more getting out and more in nature, like you said, more social, but you know, respecting what we have, but just increasing that more instead of saying, hey, I can't do this, I can't do that. Do the things that you can do and heighten that.
I love that. Yeah, so you're being more preventative, really,
Right.
and proactive.
Right, and you
Instead of-
created a solution within
Right.
yourself, and you'll increase the positivity in somebody else because they'll see that like that's displaying to you, like, hey, they did it, I can do it too. You know,
Right. They're like, you're not living in fear. What are you doing?
right? I'm not alone with
Right.
this.
Mhm.
You know,
I love that. It's good.
So are you talk about how you have a lot of folks coming in your book. I mean, are they recognizing your primary care options too, or are they still in that as well?
Just started that in June.
Oh,
So-
okay, okay, so
So
that's
that's
still new.
new, that's
Okay.
new, but yeah, we are getting people kind of trickling in for that.
I think
What's
that's
that
such a
The
fascinating
gene,
concept.
The primary care, we just
Oh,
started that in
okay.
June, yeah. Mhm.
that's good.
So I mean, you can come and establish that relationship with the primary care physician. And then they would, if there's some specialty needed, they refer.
Oh, yeah.
How that works.
Okay. Yeah, and they have a collaborative physician who oversees them as well, so we have mid-level practitioners.
And then, what about, I know you mentioned, I'd like to hear more about the plan that you have available, but you also do insurance.
We do. We take
plan.
all insurance, we don't take Medicaid or Medicare,
Okay,
all others we take, and then we have an out-of-pocket fee for people that aren't insured for mental health, and then a membership for primary care.
and how does the membership work? Could you elaborate? a little bit on
Sure. Yeah, so for adults, it's $50 a month. They can come as often as they need to come.
That's
For
awesome.
children, what's that?
I said, that's awesome.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
$50 a month.
And for children, I believe it's 25 per child. But once you get to a certain number, it's like 10.
Oh, okay.
Because you know, we have a lot of kids. You want to make sure you're not spending too much. So
Well, that's wonderful.
just trying to provide different solutions.
Mhm. A lot of people don't go for care because they know it costs so much.
Right.
And if they don't have insurance, or if their insurance doesn't cover it, you know, they'll just forego it.
Right. But we don't want them to do that. We
Mhm.
want them to
Right.
get some help.
Right.
I think once people realize what you do, they'll be books with that too.
Yeah.
I think
That'd be great.
Do you guys like partner with people? Because I remember you stating that you do like community things in the community, and I was wondering, like, because I do art, I was wondering maybe we could partner together and do like something art and incorporate it with the psychological,
I love
Part
that.
of it.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
love that. Can hook you up with our expressive arts therapist.
Okay.
So, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, we're always looking for new ideas of how to help people.
Right.
So,
And I remember you stating that you work with children with autism. I also designed children's flashcards for children with autism. So I think we could make a good team.
yeah, absolutely. So are they like the PEX cards that you show pictures
Yeah,
of?
they're just 8.5 by 11
Uh-huh.
on high gloss paper, and I have like the cookie count flashcard, learning basic shapes for children, children developmental learning fruit basket chart,
Okay,
things of that
that's
sort.
great.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Good. Thank you.
On your, was it the, not change, but for the diet,
Mhm.
what did you do when it came, how did that work in with your family as far as for what they recommended for you?
Well, so I haven't actually started this yet. I looked it over and I was like, my kids don't eat any of that. So, yeah, it's very
make a family plan that would include recipes that everybody could benefit from.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be like you're having to make a dozen,
Right.
different meals.
Yeah.
It was
So-
like that.
When you were looking at the recipes, what kind of things do you
Yeah.
feel like were maybe not what you're normally eating?
Well, just to kind of share my experience, some things he told me is he's like, well, you really, for your DNA, shouldn't be eating beef. I mean, your protein source should mostly be, what did he say? It wasn't chicken. Turkey. It was turkey.
Okay.
Is your digestive system will do the best with that. I could eat beef, but it's digestively, I'll work best with the turkey. So he just gave me some things like that. And so the recipes were all kinds of things, like different salads and different types of food, a whole bunch of, there are 70 of those. I
Wow.
don't remember all of them, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of different recipes.
That's good.
Yeah. There was no mac and cheese on there, so it's disappointing.
Oh, my God.
I know, I was like, oh.
Of course, the one thing that we love, right?
I know.